Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Rooney. I'm the publisher of the Revelstoke Current. And this afternoon I am speaking with Scott Duke. Scott is the manager, I guess, founder of Stoke FM here in Revelstoke. And he's also running for City Council. Scott, thanks for inviting me into your home for this interview.
David, thank you. I'd like to do a shout out, as they say on the radio station, to you for doing so much work and getting everyone hustled together and interviewing all the council. So it's a big job. I know you say it only takes 15 minutes, but you got to go to everyone's house and make time for. So I'm happy you're doing it.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you. It's part of the job.
Yeah. So, but it's good for the citizens because they get to see everybody.
Well, that's the point. I mean, I could sit down and interview people and then write up the story, and I will write a little bit, probably 3 paragraphs as an intro to this. But I think it's best that people actually see and hear from candidates themselves. So
put us in the hot seat.
Well, it's not that hot a seat. Come on, it's a little bit of softball. The real hot stuff is going to be on. It's going to be tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Candidates meeting.
Yeah, that'll be good stuff.
And the council one-on-one on the 25th.
Yeah, so if people are watching this before the 22nd, make sure to get out and come see the
ideally they will, and I'm going to, with any luck, I'll have this video online by midnight. Actually, probably I may even be able to get it online before 6 o'clock, which would be a huge bonus for me.
One take, here we go.
Pretty much, that's the way it's going to go. But let's get underway here. And what I would like to know, what I'd like you to do is tell our viewers a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you're running for council.
Well, here in Revelstoke, I've been here for 5 years, and in Revelstoke, I've done a few things. One, people might know me for running a hot dog cart. I ran that for 3 years outside the region. And then we started the radio station. That's a community effort, which was, I get led by me for sure, because I thought it'd be a great thing to have a radio station in town, another radio station. And then we run a property management company in town, looking after about 60, 70 homes. So we're very in tune with the rental market. Before that, I'm from Mississauga, Ontario, and I went to school in Guelph. Not that it matters, I suppose, but and throughout the course of, I guess, my career, I mostly run small business.
Good. Okay. Scott, 5 years in, why run for council?
I mean, people run for council probably primarily for the same reasons. They see where things are going, and they would like to maybe alter it a little bit. I'm no different in that regard. I see a lot of prosperity, a good future for Revelstoke. We just need some tweaks there in the City Hall. So that's why I'm running. I speak with a lot of people through the radio station, a lot of small business with the radio station, and a lot of people that rent homes in town and homeowners, and a lot of builders as well, and hear a lot of things that could, maybe, like I say, not major changes, just some tweaks that are going to help things out and make people's life easier. So
when you say a few tweaks, what do you have in mind? What are you thinking of?
Well, for instance, right now, as we speak, there's our only building inspector is away on holidays. So that's now put, everyone that's building out there is put on hold until he returns. So if you build while he's gone, and it could be up to a $30,000 fine. So that's a tweak that you could maybe change coming into winter. People need to build every single day, so stuff like that, right? Speeding things up at City Hall, getting permits through is a big thing. Watching our budget is huge. Since 2006, it was $9.5 million to run the city, thereabouts. Now we're 19.5 to run the city. So 2006 wasn't that long ago. We're driving cars from 2006, so it hasn't really changed all that much, but our budget's skyrocketed. So that's something that needs to get ratcheted and brought under control. That's a minor tweak.
Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
And good luck with that.
Yeah.
What do you regard as the major issues facing the new council, or the new council to be, rather?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges coming through. The infrastructure is one of them. Obviously, we have the forum roof, we have the golf course, we have the aging pipe infrastructure right now up the hill here. They're bringing a new line for more water for the city. These are things that are going to have to be tackled by the new council. and just regular operations. But the biggest thing I see though, David, is just really bringing a level of customer service to the city. And they've tried to do that through altering the inside of City Hall, but that's not the core of the core of the problem. The core of the problem is, hey, let's remember that every single taxpayer that lives in the city, whether you work for the city or whether you're a resident and have another job, you're a customer. You're paying your taxes. So you want to see a level of service there when you go in to get things done. And that's the biggest challenge I see. The skate park's a prime example. Those guys started to try and figure out where to put a new skate park, and it took 5 years for it to end up in the same location that it already is. These are things that can happen a little bit quicker, I think.
Just a bit, 5 years.
But when I say the skate park, for me, I skateboarded growing up, so maybe I'm a little bit closer than most people would be. But you have a child that was 5 and is now 10, or a child that was 10 is now 15. They've almost missed the whole boat there because of the delays, right? So things can happen, I think, a little bit swifter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know from previous discussions with you that you have some concerns over the number of empty storefronts in town, and
yeah,
they're I think indicative of a certain level of economic malaise.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? Is it do you think the city has a role to play in terms of promoting economic development in the city?
Oh, the city has a huge role to play. Huge role. They're the ones that lay out the game board, right? So they're the ones that make the decisions. But yeah, like you said, David, I sit in the chamber board, and that was one of my big things, is filling up the empty commercial spaces. And with the property management company, that's something we've been trying to do. I will say there's been a nice uptick in the last, I would say, 4 months of people starting to rent commercial space. So that's a nice thing to see. But it doesn't mean that we can't keep working and keep filling those empty spaces. You don't want to ease back just because some stuff's starting to fill. Big things can be changed there as far as DCCs, lowering them a bit to attract new business. Maybe giving some tax deferment to bring in new business, make it easier for them as they're setting up. Working with the private sector as well, saying how about when people start, you can keep their rents a little bit lower and then build them as their businesses grow. That can help as well. I have a whole plan that I developed for the chamber to try and bring new business into the community. That's a big thing, huge thing, because we need to increase our population a little bit, and to do that we need to have more jobs. So.
What else can we do in terms of trying to bring more people to town? Excuse me. Well,
people come to Revelstoke for the same reason that I came to Revelstoke, or why people stay in Revelstoke, because it offers an incredible lifestyle. It's a fantastic place to be. The challenges that they find, and what we see, is people working outside for 2 weeks at a time, working outside for a month, and then coming back. For a lot of people that are doing that, I speak to them, they would prefer to stay in town if they could find a job that could support their families. So that's the thrust, is trying to bring new employers in. The biggest thing, and what I think and what we aren't doing, we're missing out right now, is literally just going out and selling ourselves. So I use the radio station as an example, because I probably would have 5 customers if I didn't go out and sell to them and say, hey, we've got this great new radio station, why don't you come check it out, listen, we can help promote your business. And until I talk with them, they aren't really coming and checking it out. So that's what we need to do. We need a man on the ground that's going out to other communities and saying, hey, you should come check out Revelstoke. And someone that's making those cold calls and talking to people and trying to attract businesses to our community. That's, I think, what's going to sell us the most.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any other issues you think are going to...
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow and what people bring up. I know water's obviously a huge one. Right now, the residents that are at the bottom of the ski hill there, they're having issues with their water. We manage a house up there, so we're involved in that. The Big Eddy water, that's a big thing too. Really, everyone has the right to water, so it's getting water to the people and getting it in the volume that is needed. That's going to be a big one. I think there's going to be a lot of touched on that, so we'll wait and see what comes up.
Well, the Big Eddy Waterworks issue in particular impacts on development over there.
That's a big problem, and I know there's projects that are stalled right now because of the water supply. So we don't want that. We don't need massive development in Revelstoke, but we do need to make it easier on developers. Mm-hmm.
You're a young guy. Do you think you can attract the youth vote, in such as it is in Revelstoke?
Oh, I hope I can. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm going for. I have this little photo campaign that's going out where I release 3 pictures a week that are supposed to be funny and attract people and get them involved in politics and get them out voting. So that's the biggest thing. I mean, last election, it was a pretty dismal turnout. I know you've gone through a lot of cycles, and I think you said that it was maybe average, but it was 40%, somewhere around there. It seemed kind of poor. I hope we get 60% this time around. There's more people running, so more people will be watching it. We have a mayor race, so people will be watching that.
Well, the mayor's race always attracts more voters.
Yeah.
I think there are enough people who are upset in town that I wouldn't be surprised to see a 75% turnout.
Ooh, be 75 be great. Revelstoke, come out, vote. Yeah. I think that'd be a great thing to see everyone come out and have their say. But I think the base of it though is that Revelstoke's really great. We're doing a good job for the most part, and like I said, we just need to focus on a few key things. Make sure that the people that are in City Hall, that are leaders in City Hall, are making sure that things are going along as they should, and there's a little bit of accountability there. Someone's watching over. We've seen some projects go awry in the past here, so no one wants to point fingers or anything, but we want to make sure that doesn't happen in the future.
Go ahead, point fingers.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I won't. Yeah. But anyway, we need some tightening up in the leadership department, and that includes council as well. So, yeah.
Well, Scott, good luck to you.
Yeah, hopefully you can see me walking around, pounding the pavement here, knocking on doors. If I don't make it, I apologize. But I have little door hangers I'll be hanging up to show you that I've been to your place. So we'll see how she goes.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks, David. I appreciate it.
And that's it for this interview, ladies and gentlemen. There will be more in the days to come. Thank you.